Today I'm visiting my grandfather in Brixton in southwest London to tell you his life-changing story.
My name is Theo Davy. I'm a grandfather of 10 and a father of 5. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2020.
It all started for my granddad in 2013. He was having some issues passing urine, so the doctors tested him and diagnosed him with CML, chronic myeloid leukemia. Also around the same time, he was told he had a large prostate, but he didn't really understand what that meant. He was travelling back and forth from Jamaica then, but when he returned, the doctors ordered more blood tests, and that's when things got more serious. In 2016, Grandad had a PSA test result of 5.1. PSA is a blood test that measures the amount of prostate-specific antigen in your blood. As this was elevated, the doctors requested him to have an MRI scan in July of the same year. The scan showed he had cancerous lesions, but the hospital failed to tell him this and didn't diagnose him straight away. It was only in 2020 Grandad had a call from a doctor at the hospital with some terrible news, apologising for not letting him know sooner he'd actually had the cancer since 2016.
I was devastated. For 4.5 years, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, yet no one told me. No medication for 4.5 years. All I could have done at that time was to thank God for keeping me for 4.5 years without any medication.
He then returned to the urology clinic. Apparently his PSA was 10.1 by then. In 2021, my grandfather was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer, which is terminal. The cancer had metastasized, which means it had spread to other parts of his body.
To be honest, this is a lot to take in. I'm not sure how much I took in. I'm so glad that my wife Jackie was with me to share and to reinforce what the doctors had told me.
It was a great shock because he had been diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia in 2013, and now it was 2020, the December of 2020, I believe, and this was another hurdle I knew that he'd have to overcome with my support. Grandad seemed to be coping all right, and then he went off on a holiday and he kind of lost himself. He didn't want no one to know where he was. I felt he was angry, although he didn't appear to be, but I felt he was angry.
Grandad was offered hormonal therapy and radiotherapy as the only treatment options available to him, but he decided he didn't want radiotherapy and proceeded with hormonal therapy. He was then invited to attend a support group called Cancer, Don't Let It Win.
This is a black support group for men, obviously for black men who have had prostate cancer in whatever form, whatever treatment they've had. This support group is there to help them through their journey. One thing I found that after being diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer, I didn't get a lot of help from the hospital. I think I was just left alone. I was in the wilderness for that period of time in my life. This group of black men who were seeking to provide a safe place where men could come and talk about their struggles, their journeys, their hurts. Yeah, a safe place. So I'm so thankful for Jeff Thompson.
Jeff Thompson is the founder of Cancer, Don't Let It Win. He is the heart behind the support group that gave my granddad hope.
Hi, my name is Jeff Thompson. I'm the founder of Cancer Don't Let It Win. It's a prostate cancer support group designed to support men who have been diagnosed with prostate cancer and their families, and also help them to navigate on their journeys as they recover. What inspired me to get involved in setting up Cancer Don't Let It Win is for the fact that I was diagnosed with prostate cancer myself, and this was in 2018. And during that time, I found that there was a lack of support for men like me, black men, who could, then we need somewhere to talk and to communicate and to share our experiences, share our challenges. And I noticed that there wasn't a support group as such for us. Prostate cancer is under discussed in our black community for several reasons. One of the main reasons is embarrassment. We find that the black community don't really like to talk about anything that seems to affect their manhood.
Jeff Thompson is motivated to prevent people dying unnecessarily due to lack of awareness, knowledge, or support.
One thing that really sort of upset me is the gentleman that was diagnosed with prostate cancer. He was 40 years old, relatively young. We spoke to him about, the different types of treatments that's available, but he decided he wanted to go down the herbal route. Now, I'm not saying that herbal route is wrong, but when you've got prostate cancer, it's not good to play Russian roulette with your life. He decided to go down the herbal route, and then within that year, 1 year after, he passed away. That was quite sad. That was quite disheartening. So I do believe there's a bit of prejudice when it comes to our community being understood properly.
Jeff strongly believes that prostate cancer education should be taught at school, as it's essential for young men to learn about prostate health from an early age.
Go into the schools and educate the young people, young men, about their prostate, and also let them know what can happen if their prostates are felt to be unhealthy. What we need to do is take your life in your own hands. Be proactive. Go and get a blood test. It's a simple PSA blood test.
Calvert Richards is a new member of Cancer Don't Let It Win. He's a man who's had to face prostate cancer head on. He shares the impact of having to tell his family about his diagnosis.
That was one of the hardest parts for me, because I've got two girls, one's 26, one's 18. The 18-year-old, we're really close, and it was really painful telling her. But I told her after they diagnosed me, and the words they used was that we can cure you rather than treat you. So I just asked the issue of the difference before I proceeded. So I started gentle and then broke the news to her, but I did use the cancer word. I try not to shy away from that word. She broke down, she cried, but you've got to tell them.
When I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I called my grandchildren and I wanted to share with them my journey. As I explained to them what happened, I believe one of the questions was asked, "Granddad, does that mean you're going to die?" And I explained to them that prostate cancer is no longer a killer disease. There are numerous different treatments out there. Once it's caught early, once a person who has been diagnosed with prostate cancer follow the medication that's been given to him, he will live. So I would like to leave a legacy for my grandchildren to know that their grandfather was a fighter. He didn't give up. He didn't crawl in a corner and just die. That he's out there as an ambassador for Cancer Don't Let It Win, up and down the country, sharing his story, the other black men, other black families, other families in general. The cancer journey, it affects everybody. Be there for one another. Go through this battle. Yeah, it is a battle. It's a struggle, but as I said before, prostate cancer is no more a killer. So families get together, talk, work together, and you guys can overcome it together.
1 in 4 black men will get prostate cancer in their lifetime. Early detection saves lives. Talk to your family, talk to your doctor. This is more than just my granddad's story, it's our story. So don't wait, don't be silent, don't let it win.